How's it going, Keisha? I'm actually slightly amused at this article. Basically, because I've seen, read, and heard this foolishness for a long time. And at the root of this article is ignorance and racism. I'm glad you specifically asked me to comment on this subject because the truth is, it's probably only a handful of men on the face of the earth that's really qualified to answer the question that you pose here. What's the difference between dating a white woman, a black woman, an Asian woman, a Hispanic woman? Let me start off by saying, for better or for worse, I've traveled through all 24 time zones and I've dated just about every race, color, and creed of woman that you can come up with several times over. The lifetime that many men lie about, I've actually lived that life. Not bragging, for better or for worse. I've lived that life. So let me share a little bit of what I've learned living that life. Number one, there's no such thing as white women, black women, Hispanic women, Asian women. They're just women. Let me repeat that one more time. There's no such thing as black women, white women, Hispanic women, Asian women. They are all just women. Now, they may happen to have a certain type of skin, a certain color eyes, but that has nothing to do with their character. Now, the black guy in this message here that you posted suggested that all white women are easy. Could any intelligent person actually believe that? He suggested that all black women are virtuous. Can any intelligent person actually believe that? I can tell you personally, I've dated black women who are virtuous. I've dated black women who have no virtue. I've dated white women who are virtuous. I've dated white women who have no virtue. I've dated Hispanic women and Asian women that fall in both categories. It has absolutely nothing to do with race. He said that all white women are docile. And I believe the white woman suggested that all black women are loud or don't know how to act or whatever. I can tell you I done dated everything from strippers to church girls. And I done had church girls that's loud and wild and don't know how to act. And I've dated strippers who at times were some of the most quiet, docile women that I've ever spent time with. Because the one out of the strip club appreciated the fact that I thought enough to pull her out of the strip club. The one from the church felt like she was doing me a favor. So she acted a fool a lot. So, and at the end of the day, it don't have nothing to do with race, color, creed. It has to do with the character of that individual woman. It don't have anything to do with her socioeconomic status. You've got rich Ivy League women who have no class, no character. You see it all the time on the news. You've got women who have come straight out of the trailer park and straight out of the ghetto that carry themselves as though they were raised in a royal family. So at the end of the day, what the white woman said was wrong. What the black male said was wrong. What both of them said was rooted in racism and ignorance, either or both. And most people who make these statements don't even have the requisite knowledge to even be able to intelligently comment on it. So if as a man you ain't never dated a white woman, how you know how white women act? And according to this guy, a white woman ain't even on his radar. So if you never dated a white woman, you never dated a Hispanic woman, you never dated an Asian woman, then the only thing you can go off of is hearsay. And that's ignorant. Very ignorant. And just like this white woman told you herself, I'm going off of hearsay. I'm going off of what other black men have told me. And half of these men that she talked to probably ain't never even dated the race of women that they talking about. Or they got some other internal issues that's going on. There is no place in the world where you can go and get the quintessential black woman. This is what a black woman represents. This is who a black woman is. This is what a white woman represents. This is what an Asian woman represents. This is what a Latino woman represents. That's pure foolishness. Pure 100% foolishness. Take it from a man who has dated all of these types of women and can tell you in no uncertain terms color of her eyes, color of her skin, texture of her hair, socioeconomics. None of that has nothing to do with the character of a woman. It's who that woman chooses to be. Because just like a man, there are people who were born in the lap of luxury, had the opportunity to go to the best schools, be exposed to the best mentors. Let's look at Charles Bolden, for example, who's a black astronaut. Grew up with my mom and dad. Him and his brother went to the same high school, came out of the same home. Charles Bolden, an astronaut at NASA. His brother, been a jailbird his whole life. So socioeconomics is not what it's about. Color of your skin is not what it's about. It ain't about none of that foolishness. And I hope and I pray that one day we as a nation and as a people get past all of this foolishness. Oh, it might feel good to point at the other man, point at the other woman, and feel like this person has wronged me, this person has done this and has done that. But it's all foolishness. I can tell you this because number one, I was a racist. And as time went on and I got out in the real world, the working world, I realized that oftentimes when I felt a knife in my back, it was my own color. just as often if it was another color. So color had absolutely nothing to do with it. It had to do with the character of the person. And that's what this article is failing to address. Color has absolutely nothing to do with it. I can tell you about sexism. Why? Because I was sexist. I felt that there was certain things that men were entitled to, certain things that men could accomplish simply because we were men. Then what happened? I got out in the real world. I'm standing in a jet, C-141, terrified, about to jump 200 miles an hour, thousands of feet off the earth. I look behind me, female, 90 pounds, standing there ready to go. So all that I thought that men had to be brave and that women were full of fear, you know what? That little lieutenant changed my mind in the space of the time it took us to step out that door and for me to land back on Mother Earth. So at the end of the day, all of that was put out in this article is foolishness. Now, if a person wants to believe this stuff, accept this stuff, run with it, I ain't gonna tell you to stop. I'm gonna tell you that you keep running with it, and if it worked for you, keep on running. Because like I said, I was a racist, I was a sexist. And if being a racist and a sexist would have been a positive thing in my life, you know what? I would still be racist, I would still be sexist. But what I found out is it is the height of ignorance and foolishness. And all it does is cause you to separate yourself from people who actually could be something positive for you and cause you to trust people that's snakes simply because of their race or their sex or whatever. So if anybody who wants to hold on to those type of ignorant thought patterns, like I said, I ain't gonna argue with you. If it worked for you, God bless you. But in my lifetime, I have found it to all be foolishness. And that's just a few minutes. And that's the world according to Emerson. Thank you for your question.